I'm in downtown Seattle, and it is eerily quiet around here.
I never see Times Square like this.
This shelter-in-place order, this is day 2.
Bottom line here, this is not normal.
Now, the big question is there going to be a food shortage?
Will there be a shelter in place? People are wondering now what's going to happen next if people don't start listening to the advice of health officials and staying home.
I'm in downtown Seattle, and it is eerily quiet around here. You're hearing the buses, those are still going, but I've seen maybe 1 or 2 people per bus that's running. The Seattle area is really where the epicenter of coronavirus. It sort of started here where the nation was alerted that this was happening. The restaurants have been told that they can no longer have people come and sit in the restaurant. And so what you are seeing is, the difficulties that businesses are having. Some of the places are doing takeout, others are doing takeout and delivery. So we're seeing a lot of businesses trying other things to try and generate enough business to stay open. It's disturbing to see kind of what has happened in just a few days since the coronavirus outbreak here in Seattle. Lots of places have signs. This one says, and it's kind of beautiful, it says, "We survived 9/11, earthquake, recession. We survived Pioneer Square. We will survive this." A beautiful message from this cafe here. Amazon is headquartered here in Seattle. They're one of the businesses that is hiring. They are looking for 100,000 people. There is another industry that's hiring, and that is grocery stores. And that is because so many folks are now, instead of going to eat out, instead of going to a fast food restaurant, they are buying groceries for the family.
We're here at a food distribution center in Bayonne, New Jersey. Right behind me, these are trucks that have been going in and out of this food distribution center. It's called Rainforest Distribution. If there's one silver lining in this whole entire thing, it's that this is one of the companies now that actually needs employees, as small businesses and other businesses around the country are having to lay people off or can't pay their employees. This is one industry that's now going to be looking to hire more people in order to get groceries onto your shelves. Now, the big question is there going to be a food shortage? Can they meet the demand? The CEO of this company says that yes, they can meet the demand, but we need to give them a little bit of time.
We're going to need more people to get the product to the stores so people can buy it, but we think that'll be our biggest challenge right now.
I'm Dan Simon in Fisherman's Wharf. This is a popular area in San Francisco, especially for tourists, and what you're seeing here on the sidewalk sort of tells the story. Really not many people around, and that's because we're dealing with this unprecedented order, this shelter-in-place order. This is day 2. People are allowed to leave their homes and go for a jog. They can ride their bikes. They can exercise. They can do all sorts of things. They can go to the supermarket, pick up their groceries. They can go to various appointments. So this notion of shelter in place doesn't really reflect the reality of what's happening on the ground. So in some respects, the city is operating as usual, but no question, when you look at what you're seeing here in Fisherman's Wharf with these bare sidewalks, you just quickly understand that things are really different from the way they used to be just 48 hours ago.
Hey guys, I'm Bryn Gingras in Times Square, the crossroads of the world, and let me tell you, it looks so different. It's just hard to believe, especially as a New Yorker. Listen, the marquee lights are on, as you can see, but usually these streets are just completely busy with people. What do you think about this? Has anyone taken a tour?
So far I got 2.
2?
2. So, I used to do 40. It's a Wednesday, Times Square Wednesday matinee. It look ghost town. I never see it. The last 20 years, I'm in the same corner. I never see Times Square like this. It used to be 3,000 to 4,000 people here in the morning, this time.
people are wondering now what's going to happen next if people don't start listening to the advice of health officials and staying home. So the big discussion is, will there be a shelter in place? Like, listen, the governor says at this point there is not going to be a shutdown, and there's a lot of reasons why. He essentially says that if you shut down this entire city, if you block traffic, if you make checkpoints, then how are you going to actually get health people, health officials, medical doctors, nurses to the hospitals in order to take care of all of these people that are going to need care in the near future? That's one reason. Another reason, he says people are going to panic even more than they are, although he admits, he is considering everything in order to get people to listen to the advice of health officials and stay in their homes so we can fight this pandemic.
Welcome to Rush Hour on Michigan Avenue here in Chicago. Yes, there are people, yes, there are cars, but this is nowhere near the usual. It's increasingly, though, becoming what usual looks like as cities and states now start to get more strict on what daily life should look like. Illinois has closed all bars and restaurants to at least the end of March as a precaution for the coronavirus pandemic that we are seeing. Schools, also a major factor in this, because no kids are in class. When you take a district like Chicago's, more than 350,000 students, the third largest in the entire United States, it is a major impact. Why, though? Why is this so important? Well, because we are seeing new confirmed cases of the coronavirus pop up in this state every single day. Now, bottom line here, this is not normal. But when you take into account the recommendations that are now going out, from social distancing to quarantining in some cases, even keeping gatherings to as little as 10, those recommendations are making the case for what normal has now become.
Collecting milk bottles, following brown road signs, spotting village water pumps, taking pictures of tombstones, appreciating roundabouts. These are dull things to do, aren't they? Welcome to the Dull Men's Club. I am Grover Click. I'm Assistant Vice President of the Dull Men's Club and one of its founders. The Dull Men's Club is a group that get together to celebrate the ordinary. Yeah, it began in the 1980s, a long time ago. We began in New York City, and later I moved to London, and the Dull Men's Club followed me, and it's grown here in England as well. It's got members both in England and America and across the world. The last time we did a roundup, putting all things together, it looked like we had about 5,000 members. So here are the people that do things that some people think are dull. Here's Steve.
I'm a milk bottle collector. I have some 20,000 milk bottles from not just the UK, but all over the world. Germany, France, South Africa, Hong Kong, Portugal. I've got Iranian bottles. I don't like milk at all. I just don't like it. Sorry.
And we have some women that are interested in the Dull Men's Club. Here's Amanda.
My quirky hobby is randomly following brown tourist signs.
Yep, you heard her right.
I get inspired to turn off the road whenever I see one, and I find it very hard not to. I follow brown signs around the UK and indeed the whole world. So I've now been to thousands and thousands.
We also have a member that appreciates roundabouts.
I'm Kevin, and I'm the president of the UK Roundabout Appreciation Society, also known as Lord of the Rings. That's my official title. I have taken thousands of pictures of roundabouts, even when I'm abroad on holiday. And I know a lot of people would find my hobby quite dull, but it's bright being dull. It's sexy being dull.
And next is a member that is just dying to get into a graveyard.
I'm a tomb traveller and I take pictures of famous graves around the globe. Probably over the years 400 or 500 on various parts of the world. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee, Elvis Presley, Ludwig van Beethoven, Charlie Chaplin. Well, I don't feel that I'm a dull man, but people have said that, but I prefer to think that I've got a rounded hobby and interest. It takes my mind away from work.
And we have Dick, who's spotting village water pumps.
And it all came about through accident. 10 years ago, somebody pointed out a tiny little pump by the side of the road, and almost every village we went through, I'd see, there's a pump, and we'd just slam the brakes on and jump out and take a picture of the pump.
It's okay to be dull. There are a lot of studies being done now that boredom has got benefits. We're not so interested in the glitz and glam. We're quite happy with simple things in life.